join this morning.
Hare Krishna Madhya Khanda Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai, and all assembled devotees. This is Shivani from Ashram, Virginia. Thank you, Caitanya Mataji, for the beautiful Bhagavad Gita recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every day. Welcome to the class.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandot pranams all devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Kirtida Mataji. It was really a revelation to listen to you. The words were simply flowing. It shows how many times you must have recited Bhagavad Gita. That's what I was thinking, comparing with myself. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, all devotees. Thank you so much. This is Sumi from Jersey City.
Hare Krishna Sumi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and encouraging all of us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru Maharaj, Shri Guru and Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago. And very, very nice, beautiful recitation, Mataji, again. So much.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please come on.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Komatiki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Nice to hear your sweet voice.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Uma Mataji. Sorry.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Portland, Oregon.
Hare Krishna
Very
Uma
beautiful.
Mataji.
Yeah, very beautiful recitation, Mataji. Like Kitida Mataji, very divine and serene and so good. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Uma Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every day. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji, and thank you so much, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, for reciting Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 so nicely, Mataji. Thank you so much. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from Canada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining in. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Vinita Mataji, Danvat Pranams. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all the assembled devotees. I'm so happy to see Komadke Mataji. So I feel blessed. You're here to bless me.
Hare Krishna Sukh Sagari Mataji, thank you so much for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Can you start the recording, Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Sukh Sagari Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya Khanda, chapter 19.251 to 262. Before I hand over the call to Mataji, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. Mayapur Chandrodaya temple is meant for transcendental United Nation. What the United Nation has failed, that will be achieved here by the process recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. January 15, 1976. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Sukh Sagari Mataji, thank you so much for your association. We are really fortunate to hear from you. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vinita. It's my great fortune that Kirtida Mataji gave me this opportunity so kindly. So I'm very indebted to all of you. And I'll need all of your help today as we read along. So we'll be reading from quite a few scriptures to understand what's going on. So yeah, I'll need your help. With all your kind help, we can perhaps do it. So let's start with the invocation prayers. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, let me quickly share the Chaitanya Charitamrita verses. Chaitanya Bhagavata verses. I hope everybody can see this. So we are on this chapter titled The Lord's Pastimes in Advaita's House. This is chapter 19. We also saw previously some details regarding Advaita Acharya in a few chapters earlier to this. And we'll be also seeing some more pastimes at Advaita Acharya's house in the Khanda after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes sannyas. So now we'll continue reading from where Mataji, Kirtida Mataji left off yesterday. And she was very beautifully describing how the transcendental anger of Advaita Acharya with Lord Nityananda, because Lord Nityananda actually threw away, like some rice on the floor. So Lord Advaita, he actually expressed some anger at this, and it was not anger, and it kind of was humorous in some sense and made everybody laugh also at it. So we're just continuing in that same stream. So let's recite these verses from Chaitanya Bhagavata. अद्वैत चरित्र देखी हासे गौर राया, हासी नित्यानंद दुई अंगुली देखाया। अद्वैत चरित्र देखी हसे गौर राया, हासी नित्यानंद दुई अंगुली देखाया. Lord Gauranga laughed on seeing the characteristics of Advaita. Nityananda laughed and displayed his two thumbs pointing up. So before this verse, the prior verse talks about how Advaita Acharya, in his anger, his lower part of his cloth, it comes off. And so everybody, he claps his hands and he danced and laughed loudly. So looking at this, the others started laughing. Let's move on to the next one. Shuddha hasya maya advaitera krodha veshe, kiba vruddha kiba shishu hasaye visheshe. Shuddha hasya maya advaitera krodha veshe, kiba vruddha kiba shishu hasaye visheshe. Seeing Advaita's anger, everyone from child to old age burst into blissful laughter. क्षणे के पाइया बाह्या कैला आचमाना, परस्पर आनंदे करीला आलिंगना. क्षणे के पाइया भया कैला आचमाना, परस्पर आनंदे करीला आलिंगना. Shortly thereafter, Advaita regained external consciousness. They then all washed their hands and mouths and embraced one another. So we can see this was all in a part of a transcendental Leela, which, kind of is in some sense inconceivable to us. And so he gained external consciousness. We can see that. Nityananda Advaita hai kola kuli prema, rase dui prabhu maha kutuhali. Nityananda Advaita hai kola kuli, prema rase dui prabhu maha kutuhali. As Nityananda and Advaita embraced each other, the two Prabhus became overwhelmed in the mellows of ecstatic love. Prabhu vigrahera dui bahu dui jana, priti bai apriti nahi kako nakshana. Prabhu vigrahera dui bahu dui jana, priti bai apriti nahi kako nakshana. Those two Prabhus are the two arms of the Lord. They had only love for each other. There were no bad feelings between them for even a moment. Commentary by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. Prabhu Nityananda and Prabhu Advaita are the right and left hand of Gaurasundara. Therefore, there is factually no possibility of any bad feelings or misunderstanding between them. Both are intoxicated with love of Godhead. तब एकलह देखा से कृष्णेर लीला बालकेर प्राय विष्णु वैष्णवेर खेला तब एकलह देखा से कृष्णेर लीला बालकेर प्राय विष्णु वैष्णवेर खेला. The quarreling that is seen between them is part of Krishna's pastimes. The sporting of Vishnu and the Vaishnavas is like that of children. हे नमते महाप्रभु अद्वैत मंदिरे स्वानुभावानंदे कृष्ण कीर्तने विहारे. हे नमते महाप्रभु अद्वैत मंदिरे स्वानुभवानंदे कृष्ण कीर्तने vihare. In this way, Mahaprabhu was absorbed in his own ecstatic mood while enjoying the glorification of Krishna in the house of Advaita. So I think we'll go on till 262 for today. इहा बुझी भरा शक्ति प्रभु बल रामा अन्ये नाही जनये सब गुण ग्रामा. इह बुझी बर शक्ति प्रभु बल रामा अन्ये नाही जानये सब गुण ग्रामा. Only Lord Balarama has the power to understand these pastimes. No one else can understand the nature of these pastimes. सरस्वती जाने बल रामेर कृपाया सबर जिह्वाया से भगवती गाया. सरस्वती जाने बल रामेर कृपाया सबर जिह्वाया से भगवती गाया. By the mercy of Balarama, goddess Saraswati also knows these pastimes. That goddess glorifies these pastimes through the tongues of those who are qualified. Commentary by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. By the mercy of Sri Baladeva, the teachings of Sri Chaitanya are established on the tongues of those who engage in kirtana. Only those who have vowed to serve their spiritual master with awe and reverence are able to glorify the pastimes of Krishna. Shuddha Saraswati, the goddess of transcendental knowledge, dances on their tongues and relieves waves of Krishna's glories. Jai. So if we engage in Kirtana, goddess Saraswati will dance on our tongues and release these Krishna's glories from our mouth, even though we may not be so qualified. ए सब कथारा नाही जानी अनुक्रामा ये ते मते गाई मात्र कृष्ण हरा विक्रामा. ये सब कथारा नहीं जानी अनुक्रामा ये ते मते गाई मात्र कृष्ण हरा विक्रामा. I do not know the chronological order of these pastimes. Somehow or other, I'm simply singing Krishna's glories. चैतन्य प्रियेर पाए मोर नमस्कारा इहा ते ये अपराध क्षमा आमारा. चैतन्य प्रियेर पाए मोर नमस्कारा इहा ते ये अपराध क्षमा आमारा. I offer my obeisances at the feet of Lord Chaitanya's dear associates so that they will forgive my offenses. अद्वैतेर गृहे प्रभु वंचिकट दीना नवद्वीपे आयले संहति करीतीना. अद्वैतेर गृहे प्रभु वंचिकट दीना नवद्वीपे आयला संहति करीतीना. After staying for some days at the house of Advaita, the Lord returned to Navadvipa with the three Prabhus. Okay. So let's see. There are a few key discussion points I thought we can all discuss today. And I have made a very short PowerPoint on that. So basically, the few topics I thought we can try to elaborate on today based on the verses we covered so far are Advaita Acharya's apparent anger, like how the anger he shows with Lord Nityananda Prabhu, but then we see that it's actually, there's no, they both have a very loving relationship. Lord Nityananda and Lord Advaita had no ill feelings at all. So that's clearly explained. And what are all these things happening? Sometimes we do get this question as to why the Lord is having these kind of pastimes and what is the need and necessity, for all these different leelas and rasas like that. And then how transcendental anger is described or explained in the Nectar of Devotion. We'll try to take a peek into that also. And lastly, we will see, so is the anger of the Lord also his mercy, like that? We will try to touch on these topics today. So we'll be reading from various scriptures, our Gaudiya scriptures. So the first thing is Advaita Acharya's apparent anger. So similar incident is also actually explained in more detail in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I thought we should touch on it because it's very similar, and also the last few verses which we just read, the author says that I'm not sure of the chronological order of these pastimes. So I had this question that, maybe are they the same pastime, because it's very similar. And I checked with some senior devotees, but I have not gotten a clear answer. But maybe they are similar, or maybe similar incidents happened, at two different points of time, because in this point of time in the Madhya Khanda, it is explained by the author that this is after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Harinam Diksha, like after he gets his Diksha, that these pastimes happen. And towards the end of Madhya Khanda, he gets his Sannyas Diksha. And the Antya-lila deals with the sannyas, post-sannyas diksha pastimes like that. But Chaitanya Charitamrita, these similar pastime happens immediately after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes the sannyas diksha. Let me quickly share that screen. So, we will read through because more beautiful details are actually given. So this is from this chapter 3 of Madhya Lila. And I'm not going through like all the verses here. I hope you can see my screen, right? So this is again describing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stay at the house of Advaita Acharya. And as we can see, this was after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyasa at Katwa. He comes, he traveled for 3 days in Radhadesh. The same thing is again described in the Antya Khanda of Caitanya Bhagavata, but this pastime is mentioned in the Madhya Khanda. So, but the author does say that there could be some changes in the chronology of the events. So, let's just see what here Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says. So, Nityananda Prabhu actually tricks him, and then he brings him to the house of Advaita Acharya. And so Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya, they have lunch at the house of Advaita Acharya, and this is when the pastime happens. And I'm not going through all the prior verses, it's a long chapter. Let's just go through the relevant verses, because very beautiful purports are given by Srila Prabhupada here, which kind of explain this pastime. Advaita Acharya said, please do not give up whatever I have already given you. Now, whatever I'm giving, you may eat half and leave half. So he's persuading the Lord, both Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, to actually eat at his place. And out of so much humility, his wife would have prepared so many items, but he's playing such a humble role there, and he's requesting and begging them to eat something. In this way, submitting various humble requests, Advaita Acharya made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda eat. Thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled all the desires of Advaita Acharya. Again, Nityananda Prabhu. Mataji, is anybody inspired to read? It'll really help if you are. We'll be reading about 15 verses here. You can raise your hands if you want to read. Okay, Vinita Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Again, Nityananda Prabhu jokingly said, one second, Mataji, something is blocking my screen. Sorry. Again, Nityananda Prabhu jokingly said, my belly is not yet filled. Please take away your food. I have not taken at least of it.
Least of it, yeah. So this is where, Lord Nityananda goes into that joking mood. And let's see what happens next. Yeah. Go ahead, Vinita Mataji.
After saying this, Nityananda Prabhu took a handful of rice and threw in it on the floor in front of him, as he was very angry.
Yeah, so he just threw this handful of rice on the floor as if he was very angry. So it's very similar to what we were reading. Go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. When two or four pieces of the thrown rice touched his body, Advaita Acharya began to dance in various ways with the rice stuck to his body.
So Advaita Acharya began to dance, and let's see what happens next. Sundarangi Mataji, would you like to continue, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank
When
you.
the rice thrown by Nityananda Prabhu touched his body, Advaita Acharya thought himself purified by the touch of remnants thrown by Paramahamsa Nityananda. Therefore, he began dancing.
Yeah, you can go and read the purport. It's very beautiful, Mataji.
Okay,
It
Mataji, thank you.
explains what we were just seeing in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So that's why I thought let's read this. It's a very similar incident.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna purport. The word Adbhuta refers to one above all rules and regulations. Sometimes, not observing all the rules and regulations of a sannyasi, Nityananda Prabhu exhibited the behavior of a mad avaduta. He threw the remnants of food on the ground, and some of these remnants touched the body of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya accepted this happily because he presented himself as a member of the community of Smarta Brahmanas. By touching the remnants of food thrown by Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya immediately felt himself purified of all smarta contaminations. The remnants of food left by a pure Vaishnava are called Mahaprasadham. This is completely spiritual and is identified with Lord Vishnu. Such remnants are not ordinary. The spiritual master is to be considered on the stage of Paramahamsa and beyond the jurisdiction of the Varnashrama institution. The remnants of food left by the spiritual master and similar Paramahamsas or pure Vaishnavas are purifying. When an ordinary person touches such prasadam, his mind is purified and his mind raised to the status of a pure Brahmana. The behavior and statements of Advaita Acharya are meant for understanding of ordinary people who are unaware of the strength of spiritual values, not knowing the potency of food left by the bona fide spiritual master and pure Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. What a beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada here, trying to explain how just by the touch of the prasadam, that was thrown by Nityananda Prabhu, how Advaita Acharya went into so much ecstasy, right? And it's given in details how he was cleared or purified of all smarta contamination. So that's the effect of Mahaprasadham. It's not ordinary. So it's so purifying that you can actually go into ecstasy, as we see here. Let's continue just a couple more verses. Do you want to read Sundarangi Mataji or?
Yes, Mataji, I can read. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Advaita Acharya jokingly said, "My dear Nityananda, I invited you and indeed I have received the results. You have no fixed caste or dynasty. By nature, you are a madman." Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Sahaje Pagala, by nature a madman, indicate that Nityananda Prabhu was transcendentally situated on the Paramahamsa stage because he always remembered Radha Krishna and their service. This was transcendental madness. Sri Advaita Acharya was pointing out this fact.
Yeah, so we see that the madness here, which Advaita Acharya is actually accusing Lord Nityananda of, is basically, Srila Prabhupada explains it so beautifully to us that it was actually transcendental madness, and it's not some ordinary thing happening there. And so Sri Advaita Acharya was making it very clear for for us to understand that this was. But so he was not just saying that you're a madman. We see how beautifully Prabhupada has explained what's the inner meaning to these verses, which we just reading about. Okay, next verse. It's a long one. Maybe I will read. I'll give you a break, Mataji. To make me a madman like yourself, you have thrown the remnants of your food at me. You did not even fear the fact that I am a Brahmana. Purport. The words Apanara Sama indicate that Advaita Acharya considered himself to belong to the Smarta Brahmanas, and he considered Nityananda Prabhu to be on the transcendental stage with pure Vaishnavas. Lord Nityananda gave Advaita Acharya his remnants to situate him on the same platform and make him a pure, unalloyed Vaishnava or Paramahamsa. Advaita Acharya's statement indicates that a Paramahamsa Vaishnava is transcendentally situated. A pure Vaishnava is not subject to the rules and regulations of the Smarta Brahmanas. That was the reason for Advaita Acharya stating, Apanara Sama More Karibara Tare, to raise me to your own standard. A pure Vaishnava or a person on the Paramahamsa stage accepts the remnants of food, Mahaprasadham, as spiritual. He does not consider it to be material or sense gratificatory. He accepts Mahaprasadham not as ordinary dal and rice, but as spiritual substance. To say nothing of the remnants of food left by a pure Vaishnava, prasadam is never polluted, even if it is touched by the mouth of a Chandala. Indeed, it retains its spiritual value. Therefore, by eating or touching such Mahaprasadam, a Brahmana is not degraded. There is no question of being polluted by touching the remnants of such food. Actually, by eating such Mahaprasadam, one is freed from all the contaminations of the material condition. That is the verdict of the Shastra. So we saw earlier too, right, in Chaitanya Bhagavata, where Lord Advaita says that, I don't know what caste you belong to, you're behaving this way. It's a very, it's not a sign of upper class Brahmana like that. But the inner meaning of all that is so beautifully described by Prabhupada here. We see that in the Prabhupada, Prabhupada explains in the purport that how he is actually meaning that Nityananda Prabhu has brought Advaita Acharya also to that level of a pure Vaishnava by throwing that remnants of his food there. And Advaita Acharya stepped on it. So, he raised him he says, to raise me to your own standard. And also the glories of Mahaprasadam are again described here. He says that it's not ordinary dal and rice. So Mahaprasadam is a spiritual substance. Therefore, by eating or touching such a Mahaprasadam, a Brahmana is not degraded. And also another glory of Prasadam is stated here. Prasadam is never polluted, even if it is touched by the mouth of a Chandala. So even if a Chandala eats the Prasadam, it is actually, he is purified. It's not like the Prasadam gets polluted, because Mahaprasadam has that much potency that the Chandala will be purified and raised to the level of a Vaishnava. So a pure Vaishnava is even higher than a Smarta Brahmana. That's what Advaita Acharya is trying to explain here. And Srila Prabhupada so beautifully explains it, to people like me who if I would read this, I don't think I would understand so much, if not for Srila Prabhupada's beautiful purpose, as always. Just a couple more verses. Nityananda Prabhu replied, Mataji, is anybody inspired to read? Please continue.
Nityananda Prabhu replied, these are the remnants of food left by Lord Krishna. If you take them to be ordinary remnants, you have committed an offense. You want me to read purport?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport. In the Brihad Vishnu Puran, it is said that one who considers Mahaprasad to be equal or ordinary rice and dal certainly commits a great offense. Ordinary edibles are touchable and untouchable, but there are no such dualistic considerations where prasadam is concerned. Prasadam is transcendental and there is no transformations or contaminations, just as there is no contamination or transformations in the body of Lord Vishnu himself. Thus, even if one is a Brahmana, he is certain to be attacked by leprosy and bereft of all family members if he makes such dualistic considerations. Such an offender goes to hell, never to return. This is the injunction of the Brihad Vishnu Puran.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. You raised it to another level with your beautiful reading, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll just read a couple. So, Srila Nityananda, yeah, Mataji, Radha Mataji, you would like to read? Kripa Maya Sita Devi.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Translation by Prabhupada Ki Srila Nityananda Prabhu continued, if you invite at least 100 sannyasis to your home and feed them sumptuously, your offense will be nullified.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah, you
Shall I
can.
read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Just this and the next verse, that's it, Mataji. We'll stop.
Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Advaita Acharya replied, I shall never again invite another sannyasi, for it is a sannyasi who had spoiled all my Brahminical Smriti regulations. Next one. Translation by Divine Grace Prabhupada Ki Jai. After this, Advaita Acharya made the lords wash their hands and mouths. He then took them to a nice bed and made them lie down to take rest.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly reading and increasing the ecstasy we experience when reading these pastimes. So we'll stop reading this pastime here from Chaitanya Charitamrita and continue with our discussion for today. We see that in the Chaitanya Bhagavata, it is explained that even though Lord Advaita Acharya, he was apparently or seemingly actually putting down, or he was blaspheming Lord Nityananda Prabhu, but in actual he was glorifying Lord Nityananda. So we see how beautifully Srila Prabhupada with his purports makes us understand that what this words of Advaita Acharya actually meant, and how it is actually a glorification of the Lord, and how the Lord has actually brought him to the status of a pure Vaishnava like that. So this actually reminded me of another incident where the Acharyas open our eyes to understand how an apparently, apparent blasphemy of a great devotee of the Lord, like who is Vaishnavanam, Yatha Shambhu, like who is the greatest devotee among the Vaishnavas is Lord Shiva. So we also see in the past time where Daksha is actually mouthing offensive language towards Shiva. But then our Acharyas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, he beautifully explains it, and he explains how all these blasphemy which he is throwing on Lord Shiva is actually can be understood as a glorification. So I was reminded that it can be apparently looking, it may look, or it may seem, or it may appear like as though it is denouncing a person, but then it could actually be a glorification if the Acharyas help us understand that way. So I thought we'll read from there too, to understand how beautifully the Acharyas put out all these things, which otherwise is not easy to understand, right? These subject matters are so esoteric that we need our Acharyas, we need the help of Prabhupada and all our Acharyas to understand it. So let me quickly again go back to the PowerPoint. Yeah, so that is the pastime. Daksha curses Shiva. And so I'll try to read, I had taken some excerpts from the commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura on this topic. And this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 2, from verse 9 onwards. So I'll be reading from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's commentary to see how actually, this is not a defamy for Krishna, I mean, defamy for Shiva, but actually it's a glorification of Lord Shiva. So Daksha is actually angry because Lord Shiva did not, get off of his seat to offer respects to him. So he feels kind of very insulted by this action of his son-in-law, and he starts mouthing all offensive language against him. So I'll just read the translations and the purpose. O Brahmarshis, so this starts from verse 9, okay? O Brahmarshis, Devatas, and fire gods, hear the words I speak about the conduct of the gentle. I do not speak out of ignorance or hatred. Please hear my words, not written but understood, as I speak about the conduct of well-bred. I will criticize the bad-mannered, but do not become unhappy without first reflecting. The well-mannered will suffering if they tolerate the ill-mannered, like not weeding the grain field. So this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, so it's a little difficult to understand. If
Hare
one
Krishna, Mataji.
Mhm.
Mataji, are you sharing your screen or you're just reading, Mataji?
I'm reading, but if you all would
Okay.
like to read, I can share too.
Yeah, no problem, Mataji. Whatever is comfortable. I thought like you're sharing something. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries. Thank you. If one shows no hatred, such persons will commit offense against the well-mannered. You speak like this because of ignorance of the good nature of Shiva. No, I do not speak out of ignorance and have not known hatred from birth. Being shameless, Shiva has destroyed the fame of the protectors of the planets, because the most proud Shiva has polluted the path followed by the well-bred. Hear with attention about his bad conduct. He destroys the fame of the protectors of the planets. By unsteadiness of one person among many of equal status, people will criticize all. However, by the skill of Saraswati, so this is the meaning which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura actually brings out from these verses. By the skill of Saraswati, Daksha's words have another meaning, praising Shiva. By his own fame, Shiva derides the fame of all others. So that's what it means when Daksha says that he has destroyed the fame of everybody. But actually, it means that Lord Shiva is so above everybody that he derides the fame of all others. Nirapatrapa means shameless, but can also mean one who gives shelter to those without deliverance. The path followed by the well-mannered is spoiled by destruction by the demons. Another version has tabdhena. Then the meaning is he without shame, because the path followed by the well-mannered is spoiled by the best of the proud. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura gives a totally different understanding of the same verses, where Daksha is actually criticizing Lord Shiva. So the next verse also says, he has accepted, so Daksha says, he has accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and brahmanas, posing as a well-bred person. Again, in this verse, his criticism is clear. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, however, the words can also be taken as praise of Shiva. Until today, he has kept my bad behavior secret. Because he is omniscient, he is first to understand. Therefore, he did not stand up and welcome me. However, he has understood the qualities in my daughter, equal to Savitri, whom he married. What good behavior is this on my part? So this is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is giving a glorification. So where he says that, where Daksha says that Shiva has become his subordinate by marrying his daughter, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that because Shiva is omniscient and he knows that Daksha's behavior is so bad and he's not a good person, he did not stand up to welcome him. But then Shiva is omniscient, so he understood that though Daksha's qualities are not that great, but his daughter is equal to Savitri, and so he married him. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving like the other understanding to us. This is again said by Daksha now. Having married my daughter with fawn-like eyes, the monkey-eyed rascal has not given proper respect to me with even words, though I deserve the honor of persons rising and addressing me politely. So this is what Daksha is thinking. He's demanding respect. Like he's like, unlike a devotee who's amanina manadena, who don't expect respect like that, but Daksha is expecting respect. And he did not even respect with sweet words his father-in-law, who deserves that someone rises from his seat and addresses him. So the other meaning now given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is as this: seeing mercifully materialists who are like monkeys, he grants their desires. Unfortunately, I have not properly respected with words such a person who deserves that I rise and speak politely. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that he gives, to monkey-like people who approach Lord Shiva, he mercifully gives them his Ashutosh, so he fulfills their desires, he grants their desires. Now let's continue. Daksha says, though not desiring to do so, I have given my daughter to a person who does not perform rituals, is impure, is proud, and violates the rules of conduct. I have acted as if giving the message of the Vedas to a Shudra. So he's calling Lord Shiva a Shudra here. So now let's see how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur turns this to a praise. Ushatim refers to the Vedas. The words also can be taken as a praise. Because he is the very form of the Supreme Brahman, no rituals need be performed. No one is cleaner than he is. He is not proud and does not break the rules. By rules of Sandhi, the words can be taken as Amanine and Abhinna Setave. Seeing my own lack of qualification, I did not want to give my daughter, but I gave her. I'm unqualified like the Sudras. So this is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is interpreting the verse. He's saying that this is what Daksha actually is meaning to say. Seeing my own lack of qualification, I did not want to give my daughter, but I gave her. I am unqualified. That's Daksha is unqualified like the Shudras. Shudra eva instead of Shudraya eva, who teach the Vedas. As an optional rule, the letter Y in Shudraya eva is not dropped. So, he's playing with the grammar of these verses, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is bringing out the praises of Lord Shiva here. So beautiful, right? Then let's move on to the next, which also deals with this. Daksha says, naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying. He lives in filthy places like crematoriums and surrounded by ghosts and demons, wanders about in horrible places of the dead. Using crematorium ashes as his bath, he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and human bones. He is inauspicious, though he has the false name Shiva. Shiva means like auspicious, so he gives auspiciousness. He is insane, dear to the insane, and the leader of the leaders of the insane, the leader of the most ignorant. So this is how Daksha is actually blaspheming Shiva. So this is but a pastime of Shiva, who is mad with prema for the Supreme Lord. Thus, Daksha describes him to be like a madman. If he were actually mad, Daksha would have simply said he is a madman. According to the Puranas, smearing ashes on the body is an activity of exalted Vaishnavas. By him, even the worst places, Apadesha, become auspicious. There's no one greater than Shiva in an auspiciousness, Ashivaha. He is the leader of persons who are completely in ignorance. As praise, it indicates that Shiva, as a pastime by his will, accepts even the most ignorant out of mercy. So Shiva, he gives liberation to even like pretas, right? Like the bhuta pretas, like that. So he is so kind and merciful, and he's all auspiciousness that he can, deal with so lower classes of people like that. So now again Daksha says, requested by Brahma, I gave Sati to this unclean lord of the insane who has an impure heart. It was not my wish to give her to Shiva. Respecting the order of Brahma, I have fallen into suffering. This implies that Brahma is unintelligent. He does not mention that Brahma is his father. This indicates that Brahma is unqualified to be his father. That verse may also be taken as a statement of praise. Now we'll see how it's a praise. Shiva is merciful even to the mad. Unmada Nathaya. He purifies even the impure. His mind is merciful even to the sinful. Though I'm unqualified, I have my daughter I have given my daughter because of Brahma's request. So this is how he converts it into a praise. Maitreya said, in this way, criticizing Shiva, who remained there without hostility, Daksha, sipping water, began to curse him in anger. Apratipa means without an enemy. The lowest of the devatas, Shiva, should not receive a portion of the sacrifice, along with the devatas like Indra and Upendra. Again, this curse can also be taken as a praise. At this sacrifice, he should not receive a share along with the devatas, because the devatas are lower than he is. He referring to Lord Shiva. One should not eat with those who are in a lower position. Therefore, he will receive his share simply by letting them eat their share, since he is famous as the nourisher of all beings. So this is something I thought we will read to see how apparent, anger, apparent words of, ill words can actually have deeper meanings and be actually a praise and a glorification. So it's so beautifully, our Acharyas in two instances, we just saw how in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada beautifully explained the actual purport of Advaita Acharya's words. And then we saw how in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains the purport of Daksha's cruel words to his father-in-law Shiva. So very beautiful. If we try to draw parallels from different scriptures, the Acharyas have made our job so easy, right? So let's move on to the next theme of for today. The Supreme Lord and his relationships. So this makes us question what actually is happening. I mean, if we're trying to blanket everything as a pastime of the Lord, and how do we even understand what was actually happening between Lord Nityananda and Advaita Acharya? I mean, it's a little inconceivable in that sense to understand how the Lord actually plays, or how the Lord interacts with his devotees through his various relationships like that. So the question arises: if the Lord is all self-sufficient, so what was the need, for the living entities? And then also there's myriad of emotions and exchanges with the other living entities, or to his expansions. So this question arises in our mind, and I would again, grab a reading from TLC, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, where Lord Chaitanya is actually preaching to Prakashananda Saraswati and all these Mayavads about what Krishna consciousness is, and how the Supreme Lord as a person, he likes to have all these kind of interactions with his devotees. And it's it's not without reason, and it's very beautifully Srila Prabhupada. I'll just quote Srila Prabhupada verbatim. It's best if we listen to his words as it is. It'll make things much clearer than if I paraphrase. So let me just start off reading from TLC, or maybe I'll just share the screen, and all of us can take turns to read bits from here. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen. This is from TLC, from Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, we'll start from here. If anybody's inspired to read, you can read the highlighted portion here.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji. Okay. Hare Krishna, Mataji. The Supreme Absolute Truth, the personality of Godhead, is compared to a blazing fire, and the innumerable living entities are compared to sparks emanating from that fire. Although both the Supreme Lord and the living entities are qualitatively fire, there is yet a distinction. Vishnu, the Supreme, is infinite, whereas the living entities, which are but sparks, are infinitesimal. The infinitesimal living entities are emanations from the original infinite spirit. In their constitutional position as infinitesimal spirits, there is no trace of matter. The living,
You can continue, Mataji. So this is where actually Srila Prabhupada so beautifully explains why the living entities were created and what happens. Yeah, you please continue if you're okay, Mataji.
The living entities are not as great as Narayan Vishnu, who is beyond this material creation. Even Shankaracharya accepts Narayan to be beyond the material creation. Since neither Vishnu nor the living entity are of the material creation, someone may inquire, why were the small particles of spirit created at all? The answer is that the Supreme Absolute Truth is complete in his perfection when he is both infinite and infinitesimal. If he is simply infinite and is not infinitesimal, he is not perfect. The infinite portion is the Vishnu Tattva or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the infinitesimal portion is the living entity.
So beautifully. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Mataji, for reading so beautifully. So we see how Srila Prabhupada is explaining here that, the Lord is complete in himself. We understand, right? He is Atmaram, he is complete. So what was the need for the small particles of spirits to be created at all? And so beautifully Prabhupada is explaining here, because the Lord is Anoranyam Mahatomahiyan. Like he is, smaller than the smallest, larger than the largest. So similarly, he's both infinite and infinitesimal. So he's also infinite, and then the living entities are infinitesimal, like they are like a fraction of that infinity, so to speak, like that. So because as living entities, we are not aware of everything happening, but we are aware of some things happening around us, right? Like that. So the Lord is complete in his perfection. So there must be both the sides to him. Like he's both infinite as well as infinitesimal. So that's why the spirit souls that we are infinitesimal in nature, and we have the same, qualitatively the same spiritual tendencies, but then quantitatively we are so small. Yes, Kripamaya Mataji, do you want to read this paragraph, please?
Mataji, shall I read, Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Due to infinite desires of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is existence in the spiritual world. And due to the infinitesimal desires of the living entity, there is existence in the material world. When the infinitesimal living entities are engaged in their infinitesimal desires for material enjoyment, they are called Jiva Sakti. But when they are dovetailed with the infinite, they are called liberated souls. There is no need to ask, therefore, why God created the infinitesimal portions. They are simply and contemporary complementary side of the Supreme. It is doubtlessly essential for the infinite to have infinitesimal portions which are inseparable parts and parcels of the Supreme Soul. Because the living entities are infinitesimal parts and parcels of the Supreme, there is reciprocation of feelings between the infinite and the infinitesimal. Had there been no infinitesimal living entities, the Supreme Lord would have been inactive and there would not be variegatedness in the spiritual life. There is no more meaning to a king if there is no subjects, and there is no meaning to the Supreme God if there is no infinitesimal living entities. How can there be meaning to the word Lord if there is no one to overlord? The conclusion is that the living entities are considered to be expansions of the energy of the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord, the personality of God, Krishna, is the energetic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji, for the beautiful reading. So
Thank you,
beautifully,
thank you.
Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji. He gives it away here, right? Saying that what is the meaning to the word Lord if there's no one to overlord? And he's describing so beautifully how, he's describing why the Lord has, why are these sparks, like the living entities, actually created in the first place, and how they enhance or the supreme potency of the Lord, that he is infinite and infinitesimal at the same time. This is such a beautiful chapter. This is chapter 20 from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and the whole chapter is so beautiful. Prabhupada has just, it's ecstatic to even read it, but due to want of time, and I don't want to digress too much from the topic for today, but when you have a chance, please do read, especially, where it comes to how Srila Prabhupada dispels the statements made by Shankaracharya, where he says that this cosmic manifestation is false, like this paragraph. It's very, very interesting as to how Srila Prabhupada, defies these arguments and explains so beautifully the Vaishnava Siddhanta. So, Harita Mataji, I think we may have more readings to do, and at that time, maybe you can read, Mataji, if you're inspired. Sorry, I'm not going, we will not continue with this reading for now. We will move on to the next, yeah, maybe this you can read, Harita. Transcendental anger. So we saw this. What is transcendental anger? We'll try to understand what this is, because we are dealing with this, right? It is kind of inconceivable to our I mean, at least to my senses. It is, what's happening between Nityananda Prabhu, and it so clearly is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita too, and the Caitanya Bhagavata, that Lord Nityananda, he understands, and Goddess Saraswati, she understands, and she can actually dance on the tongues of the devotees who have that guru nishtha. She can make them understand that. So we'll try to get a glimpse into what this transcendental anger is by reading a few excerpts from the Nectar of Devotion, and I will quickly share that. Yeah. So this chapter 47 deals with the topics of compassion and anger, and the compassion part is also very sweet, but let's just skip to the anger part. And Harita Mataji, and several examples are given of transcendental anger here. Each and every paragraph talks of a different pastime, and so we will try to read some examples. We'll try to understand, at least by these examples, what transcendental anger actually. Harita Mataji, you want to?
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. In ecstatic loving service to Krishna in anger, Krishna is always the object. In Vid- Vidagda Madhava, second act, verse 37, Lalita Gopi expressed her anger, which was caused by Krishna, when she addressed Srimati Radharani thus: "My dear friend, my inner desires have been polluted. Therefore, I shall go to the place of Yamaraja. But I am sorry to see that Krishna has still not given up his smiling over cheating you. I do not know how you could repose all your loving propensities upon this lusty young boy from the neighborhood of the cowherds. After seeing Krishna."
1 minute, Mataji.
Yeah.
So we see this is the pastime where Lalita Gopi is angry towards Krishna, and then she's addressing Radharani, saying that, how could you love him so much, on this boy who's actually cheating you like that. So yeah, let's read the next paragraph, Mataji.
Yeah. After seeing Krishna, Jarati sometimes said, "Oh, you thief of young girls' properties, I can distinctly see the covering garment of my daughter in law on your person." Then she cried very loudly, addressing all the residents of Vrindavana, to inform them that this son of King Nanda was setting fire to the household life of her daughter in law.
Yeah, so this is the mother-in-law of Radharani, expressing anger towards Krishna that he is taking away, all of her daughter-in-law's time. Yeah.
Similar ecstatic love for Krishna in anger was expressed by Rohini Devi when she heard the roaring sound of two falling Arjuna trees to which Krishna had been tied. The whole neighborhood proceeded immediately towards the place where the accident had taken place, and Rohini Devi took the opportunity to rebuke Mother Yashoda as follows: "You may be very expert in giving lessons to your son by binding him with rope, but don't you look to see if your son is in dangerous spot? The trees are falling on the ground and he is simply loitering there." This expression of Rohini Devi's anger towards Yashoda is an example of ecstatic love in anger caused by Krishna.
So Krishna was actually liberating the Yamalarjuna trees. But then we see that Mother Rohini is expressing anger because he is loitering and, making the trees fall like that. It's so beautiful, right? Yeah. Mataji, you want to continue, or if there's
Yeah,
anything?
I want to continue, Mataji, but if
Yeah,
any
please.
other, yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Once while Krishna was in the pasturing ground with his cowherd boys, his friends requested him to go to the Talvan forest where Gha- Gar- Gargam, Gar- Gardhabhasura, a disturbing demon in the shape of an ass, resided. The friends of Krishna wanted to eat the fruits from the forest trees, but they could not go because of fear of the demon. Thus, they requested Krishna to go there and kill Gardhabhasura. After Krishna did this, they all returned home, and their their report of the day's activity perturbed Mother Yashoda because Krishna had been sent alone into such danger in the Talvana forest. Thus she looked upon the boys with anger.
Yeah, so this is Mother Yashoda's anger on Krishna because he went to kill the demon. Okay, next one.
Mataji, this Gardhabasura is same as Dhenukasura, right?
That's what I was thinking too, Mataji. It does appear
Yeah,
like,
because Talvan means I
yeah.
thought the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
There is
because
another instance of anger on the part of a friend of Radharani's. When Radharani was dissatisfied with the behavior of Krishna and had stopped talking to him, Krishna was very sorry for Radharani's great dissatisfaction, and in order to beg forgiveness, he fell down at her lotus feet. But even after this, Radharani was not satisfied and she did not talk with Krishna. At that time, one of her friends chastised her in the following words: My dear friend, you are allowing yourself to be crunched by the rod of dissatisfaction. So, what can I say unto you? The only advice I can give you is that you had better leave this scene immediately, because your misbehavior is giving me too much pain. I cannot bear to see your behavior, because even though Krishna's peacock feather has touched your feet, you still appear to be red faced. The above attitude of dissatisfaction and anger in devotional service are called ir- issue.
yeah, so here we see Radharani is actually angry. This is with Krishna. But then another friend, and so Krishna actually falls at the feet of Radharani to beg for forgiveness. But even then, Radharani is not giving up. She's still angry. So one of her friends sees this and she gets angry with Radharani that why is she being so stubborn? You're allowing yourself to be churned by the rod of dissatisfaction. So what can I say unto you? So she's saying nothing can satisfy you, even when the Lord has fallen on your feet, his peacock feather has touched your feet. Still, you appear to be red faced. So this is Radharani's anger. Yeah, Mataji, please go ahead.
When Akrura was leaving Vrindavana, some of the elderly gopis rebuked him as follows: O son of Gandhini, your cruelty is defaming the dynasty of King Yadu. You are taking Krishna away. Keep us in such a pitiable condition without him. Now, even before you have left, the life aid of all gopis has practically disappeared.
So these are the gopis. They are actually rebuking Akrura because he took away Krishna. Okay, let's see.
When Krishna was insulted by Shishupala in the assembly of Rajasuya Yagna convened by Maharaj Yudhishthira, there was a great turmoil among the Pandavas and Kurus involving grandfather Bhishma. At that time, Nakula said with great anger, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and the nails of his toes are beautified by the light emanating from the jeweled helmets of the authorities of the Vedas. If he is desired by anyone, I declare here with as Pandavas that I will kick his helmet with my left foot, and I will strike him with my arrows, which are as good as Yamadhanda, the s- the s- the scepter of Yamaraja. This is an instance of ecstatic love for Krishna in anger.
So here we see that when Shishupala was insulting Krishna, so Nakula got very angry with this. So he says, if Krishna is derided or insulted by anybody, then I will kick his helmet or his head with my left foot and will strike him with my arrow. So this is out of ecstatic love for Krishna, but he gets angry, with the demons who are insulting Krishna.
Okay.
1 minute. These are the symptoms. Let's just do the pastimes. Like this is another one instance given. You want to read, Mataji?
Yeah. When Jarasandha angrily attacked the city of Mathura, he looked at Krishna with sarcastic glances. At that time, Baladeva took up his plough weapon and gazed upon Jarasandha with colored eyes. Should I continue, Mataji?
Yeah, please continue, Mataji.
There is a statement in the Vidagda Madhava wherein Srimati Radharani in an angry mood addressed Purnamasi after she had accused Radharani of going to Krishna. My dear mother, Radha declared, what can I say to you? Krishna is so cruel that he often attacks me on the street, and if I want to cry out very loudly, this boy with a peacock feather on his head immediately covers my face so that I cannot cry. And if I want to go away from the scene because I am afraid of him, he will immediately spread his arms to block my path. If I piteously fall down at his feet, then this enemy of the Madhu demon is in an angry mood bites my face. Mother, just try to understand my situation and don't be unnecessarily angry with me. Instead, please tell me how I can save myself from these terrible attacks by Krishna.
So Radharani is making all these, accusations against Krishna here in this. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I think this is, the last two pastimes here, Mataji. You want to read, or if you're too tired, I can read too.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Yeah, I can read. Sometimes among contemporary personalities, there are signs of ecstasy in anger because of love for Krishna. An example of such anger was exhibited in a quarrel between Jatila and Mukhara. Jatila was the mother-in-law of Radharani and Mukhara was her great grandmother. Both of them were talking about Krishna's unnecessary harassments of Radharani. When she was walking in the street, Jatila said, you cruel faced Mukhara, by hearing your words, my heart feels like it is burning in a fire. And Mukhara replied, you sinful Jatila, by hearing your words, there is aching in my head. You cannot give any evidence that Krishna has attacked Radharani, the daughter of my granddaughter, Kirtida. Once when Radharani was taking,
Would it be okay if Kripamaya Mataji reads the last?
yeah,
Okay.
sure, Mataji.
Thanks so much, Mataji, for beautifully reading.
Thank you, Mataji. Once when Radharani was taking off the necklace given to her by Krishna, Jatila, her mother-in-law, told a friend, my dear friend, just see the beautiful necklace that Krishna has presented to Radharani. She is now holding it, but still she wants to tell us that she has no connection with Krishna. This girl's activities have disgraced our whole family. Natural jealousy of Krishna by persons like Susupala cannot be accepted as ecstatic love in anger with Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So beautifully helping us understand this. All Matajis, I'm so grateful to you that we see that how Prabhupada, has given several examples here. And then in the last, we see that a non-example or, the example of Shishupala cannot be accepted as ecstatic love and anger with Krishna. This is what Srila Prabhupada explains to us here. Let's proceed to the, I won't take much of everybody's time. Let's just proceed to the last part of, today's discussion. Is anger the Lord's mercy? I will quickly paraphrase this. So as we can see in the picture, how Lord Narasimha, he appeared so fiery, right, to Hiranyakashipu, but his soft glances were there always for Prahlad Maharaj. So it's beautifully described in one of these articles here. Let me go there. The Vaishnava Acharyas have commented that Narasimha is paradoxical in that he is both the very personification of anger, yes, yet the very emblem of gentleness. They have cited the natural example of the lioness, which can fight a maddened elephant with all the fury of a wild cat. Yet the lioness can take a few minutes out in the middle of the battle to suckle her cubs. Therefore, say the saints, no one is as furious as Narasimha, yet there is none so gentle. When Lord Narasimha appears from the stone pillar, one of his eyes is filled with rage, while the other is looking with love towards his devotee Prahlada. The sharp nails on his hands are just like steel chisels, and they dispatch the demon very quickly. But the palms of the same hands are as soft as lotus flowers. Through coming to save his devotee in this way, the Lord demonstrates that he is Saulabhya or accessible to even a child who loves him. And by removing the cruel Hiranyakashipu, he shows that there can be no obstacles on the path of bhakti for one who truly takes shelter of him. Thus, he is known as Bhakta Pala, the friend of the devotee, and Bhakti Vigna Vinashana, or one who removes all obstacles on the path of devotional service. He appeared at twilight, neither day nor night, and therefore the Vaishnavas observe fasting up until this time. So in this way, the Acharyas, Vaishnava Acharyas describe, the fiery nature of Narasimha, but at the same time, the merciful nature of the Lord to his own devotees. So this anger, on one side we see Narasimha is so angry with Hiranyakashipu, but at the same time we see his loving embrace, right? He embraces Narasimha, he embraces Prahlad Maharaj so lovingly, and that is also explained. So that's how the same, though his form is so fiery, like as explained here in a lion form like that, but it can still be so loving to a devotee, right? Prahlad Maharaj was not scared. He was just a young boy of 5, but he was very lovingly embraced by Narasimhadev and licked also by him. So it's so sweet, the Lord's pastimes. So to the devotees, the same form appears so merciful and kind, right? So yeah, I will maybe pause here for today, and devotees, please forgive me if I spoke anything anything wrong. I'm sure, because like I said, I don't have many realizations. These are very esoteric topics from Chaitanya Bhagavata, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be actually reading this along with all of you, trying to understand all these transcendental interactions between the Lord and his close associates like that. So please forgive me if I committed any offenses, and feel free to chastise me, and we will pause here for now, Matajis. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful class. So nicely you have explained. It was like nectar, Mataji. Thank you so much. How the anger of Advaita Acharya was like transcendental anger, and you took us to Chaitanya Charitamrita to show how Srila Prabhupada has narrated the pastimes so nicely. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful class, Mataji.
Thank you. All goes to Shishi Guru and Srila Prabhupada.
Dear devotees, if you have any questions or any realization, please feel free to share. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the beautiful class. Very grateful.
Thank you, Vinita, for helping along.
थैंक यू माता जी, कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम. नो वर्ड्स टू सिंसियर सेवा. बहुत ही अच्छी तरह हर बार जब आप आते हो तो हृदय को छू जाती है. ऐसी श्रीमती श्री राधा रानी की, श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की आज आपने लीला बताई. माता जी, इफ यू डोंट माइंड, वी ऑल नो दैट यू आर वर्किंग, पर 2 मिनट
I'm not working these days.
राधा रानी की जय हो. माता जी, 2 मिनट के लिए जो भजन आपको गाना है, जो वैष्णव सॉन्ग, आपको हृदय को जो अच्छा लगे वो हम सबको सुनाना।
Sure,
कोटि
Mata.
कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम टू योर सिंसियर सेवा माता जी। हरि हरि गौरांगा।
Thank you. All goes to Shishi Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada. If there are no more comments, Mataji, is it okay if we are sing a Tirupavai verse? Will it be okay, or do you want a Vaishnava bhajan, Mataji?
आपके हृदय को जो अच्छा लगे वो गाइए माता जी। आपका जो वाणी में और आपको भगवान श्रीमती श्री श्री राधा रानी ने बहुत अच्छा स्वीट वॉइस दिया है, जो भी अच्छा लगे माता जी आप गाइए।
I was just thinking, Mataji, that the Margari month just got over, like a day before yesterday. Monday was the last day, and there are at least 5 to 6 verses from the Tirupavai, which the Vaishnava Acharyas say are very auspicious to recite. But among them, one of the verses is
Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
कौमुदी की माता जी।
Yes, Mataji, were you saying something? Did I interrupt you?
गलती से माता जी वो हो गया होगा, माइक उनका चालू हो गया होगा। हरि बोल दंडवत।
Sure, Mataji. So this is one of the verses from the Tirupavai, which the Acharyas say that is the essence of all the verses, because it's imploring us to perform devotional service to the Lord. So I thought I can sing that verse, though it's in Tamil, but it's transcendental because it's composed by Andal Arvar. So if it's okay with you all, I can sing that verse. Let me try to quickly share that screen so you can also see that verse. Yeah, this is the penultimate verse. Like there are 30 verses, but this is verse 29, and it explains here. The commentators consider this, the penultimate verse, sorry, the color is too bright, to be the most important one. In it, Goda is actually the name for Andal Arvar, declares emphatically that the purpose of all this observance. Yes, Kripamay Mataji, I wasn't. Okay, you can maybe if you're. You can read Mataji the first paragraph.
The commentators consider this the penultimate verse to be the most important one. In it, Goda declares emphatically that the purpose of all this observance is not the mere drum that disinterested and the eternal love and service to Krishna alone. The Jiva is dependent upon Krishna for its existence, and its goal is to serve and live for his pleasure alone. The elders of Vrindavan wanted the maidens to perform the vow for rains and for their getting good husbands, but the maidens have lost themselves totally in God love to the exclusion of all else. The material goal has been transformed into the transcendental desire to love and to serve Krishna. They have even rejected the concept of heaven and actually decide to take more births in order to serve and love him. We find that the highest purpose of life was outlined in the opening stanza number 1 in somewhat veiled language. That veil is now unceremoniously brushed aside, and the highest Parasruddha
Pushartha.
Purushartha, highest Purushartha or object of human ambition is clearly declared by Goda. This is the crowning stanza of entire Prabandham and contains the quintessence of Vishwadaitva, Vishishdaitva philosophy.
Yeah, so we see that this verse is so important, and it's no different from what we are also trying, right? To our desire is Krishna prema, like we, uh, uh, read in the morning too after Mangalarti prayers, how when we recite the 10 offenses, and we concluded that our aim is to achieve Krishna prema, and like the exalted devotees of the Lord, they reject the concept of heavenly pleasures or any pleasures, and actually are open or desire to take more births in the material world, even though it's a place of misery, just to serve and love him. So this is a mood of a pure devotee of the Lord, and so we are praying to get that kind of a disinterested in material affairs, but only interested in eternal love and service to Krishna. So this is the verse, and it's in Tamil, but nonetheless, these are spoken by Arvars, and they have their potency, whichever language they have. Yeah, this is in Tamil, if any Tamilians are there too.
No
My voice
Tamilian.
is, yeah, so, yes. That's a சிற்றம் சிறு காலே வந்துன்னை சேவித்து பொற்றாமரை அடியே போற்றும் பொருள் கேளாய் பெற்றம்மே துண்ணும் குலத்தில் பிறந்து நீ குற்றேவல் எங்களை கொள்ளாமல் போகாது இற்றை பறை கொள்வான் அன்று காண்கோவிந்தா எற்றைக்கும் ஏழேழு பிறவிக்கும் முன் தன்னோடு உற்றோமே ஆவோம் உனக்கே நாம் செய்வோம் மற்றை நம் காமங்கள் மாற்றேலோ எம்பாவாய் So this is that verse, and we just read what the purport is: to pray to Krishna for eternal love and service to Krishna. So I hope that's okay, Vrinda, Gopinath.
Radha, Jai Ho, Mataji, one more please. Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Jai Gauranga. Please forgive us.
No, I'm just wondering which bhajan to sing.
जो माता जी आपको हृदय को छू जाता है, जो गाना है वो.
Let me sing Gaya Gaura Madhur Sari.
हाँ, राधा रानी की जय हो.
I will sing this one. This is by Bhakti Vinoda Thakur. So, Gaya Gaura Madhur Sware, Gaya Gaura Madhur Sware, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaya गोरा मधुर स्वरे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे गृहे ठाकुर वने ठाकुर सदा हरि बोले डाको सुखे दुखे भूलो न को वदने हरि नाम को रो रे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे माया जाले बाधा होए आचो मीचे काजलोए एखो नचे तना पे राधा माधव नाम बोलो रे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे जीवन हो इलो शेष न भजिले ऋषिकेश भक्ति विनोद उपादेश एक बार नाम रसे मातो रे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे। जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, जय श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय, जय श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। Mataji, anybody wants to read the translations, please?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you Mataji for the beautiful song. Can I read Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you Mataji. Translation. Lord Gaurasundara sings in a sweet, very sweet voice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whether you are a householder or a sannyasi, constantly chant Hari, Hari. Do not forget this chanting. Whether you are in a happy condition or in a distressful one, just fill your lips with the Harinam. You are bound up in the network of Maya and are forced to toil fruitlessly. Now you have obtained full consciousness in the human form of life, so chant the names of Radha Madhava. Your life may end at any moment, and you have not served the Lord of the senses, Rishikesa. Take this advice of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Just once release the nectar of the holy name. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for beautifully reading. Yeah. So, is it a good time to pause for today, Mataji?
Thank you, Mataji. In the chat also, so many devotees has thanked you for your beautiful class and for the beautiful song, Mataji.
I saw Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. It's their kind mercy to this fallen soul. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you,
Mataji. Very
Thank
nice.
Thank you.
Nectar.
Thank you,
Nectar class and nectar songs.
It's your association, the power of your association, Mataji's.
What would I have? I don't know anything.
We are very happy to listen to you, Mataji, Kamadaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
So nice.
Yes, Mataji. Hare
Dandat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Kamadaki Mataji. Please
Hare
accept
Krishna,
my
Mataji.
pranam.
I like to hear your voice, sweet voice, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Mataji, are you able to come on video or is it not a conducive time?
Okay, I don't know. Okay. It's on the video, but not so wonderful.
I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, Mataji. It would be nice to get your darshan.
Hari Bol.
I done it all.
Hari Bol, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hari
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Nice to see you, Mataji, again.
So good to see you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Kamadaki
Please
Mataji.
accept my pranam.
Stop share.
You can pin her.
Huh?
Oh, to pin her?
No. Just stop share, Mataji. Rest I will do.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kamadaki Mataji. Good to see you.
Nice. Thank you, everyone. It's good. It's all of your mercy. Without it's not possible.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your association and your kind blessings always.
Mataji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your beautiful association, Mataji. We were missing you.
We
Thank
are
you.
missing you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, we were missing you.
I was missing also. Sometimes I get a chance to, I was hearing the recording, but most of the time I'm out of it, so I don't know. And I didn't even chant. I couldn't even chant that night. But now it's good by mercy of all the devotees. At least I'm trying to chant 16 rounds. So
Haribol.
Haribol.
Hari Bol, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Mataji.
thank you very much. But still I have pain in the back because there's a fracture in the spine. So that kind of also holds me back. I also have to lie down longer than, more often than usual. But it's okay. Everything will be fine, Mataji. Krishna is with you all the time. I don't know. He's with everyone, all living entities. Yes, all living entities. He's with everyone, all living entities. There is no
And we
place
need your
without him.
association.
Huh?
Sorry to interrupt. And we need your association, Mataji, every day. We feel very nice to see you on the call. And we pray to Krishna that you always you get well soon and you be happy and healthy, Mataji.
Well, I don't know about the healthy, but I can be happy by hearing also and seeing all of you also. But I don't know. But the health stage or not stage doesn't matter. But at least I have all of you. That's what is count. And your mercy, all of His mercy, that is what is. Thank you very much. So I will try to join wherever I can, whenever I can, not wherever. But today I just did everything. I did the exercise. I took a bath and I did exercise. And I saw in the clock. Then I thought it is a time for class. So then I'll join. There's sometimes I see it later, about 12 o'clock, and there is no sense of joining.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for your association.
Thank you all. Thank you, Sukh Sagari Mataji. Very nice, beautiful nectar. Thank you.
Glory to you, Mataji. By your kind association, we will to speak few words by the mercy of all devotees. Kirtida Mataji mercifully gave me the opportunity. Otherwise, I'm unqualified to read these scriptures.
That is your humility.
Ah.
You are reading.
Oh,
You have Bhakti Shastri and you have done Bhakti Vaibhav. And how can you say that?
That's true.
It is like deriding the mercy of the scripture. They gave you the knowledge and you're speaking. It's very nice. But sometimes we just see that we are insignificant. So that's okay also. But you did was very nice. I heard the whole class was very nice.
do you want to share some realizations, Mataji, or some of your realizations?
Well,
Do you want to share any realizations, Mataji?
I just like the one part, the Lord Nityananda. He was in the mood that he just took the rice and threw all over, and some of the rice fell on Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya in excess started dancing like anything. And Haridas Thakur and they're all laughing and saying, it was laughing means not at him or like that, but this is seeing the ecstasy of Advaita Acharya. They are all became very happy. It's like that. What else I can say? There's so many things you said, but I forget. I don't have that memory like you do. Okay. I'm forgetting so many things. But at least I'm remembering that I have devotees, Bhakti Sanga. They are very kind and blessing me. Thank you, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for
Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Koti koti dandavat pranam.
Please bless us,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Please keep us in your prayer, Mataji. તમારી પ્રાર્થનામાં અમને હંમેશા રાખજો, માતાજી. શ્રીધામ વૃંદાવન ધામ, શ્રી માયાપુર ધામ, શ્રી જગન્નાથપુરી ધામ, ભક્તિદેવી તુલસી મહારાણીના આશીર્વાદ હંમેશા તમારી સાથે બની રહે. જય જય
Thank
નિત્યાનંદ.
you, Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
જય
Very,
જય ગૌરાંગ.
I'm in there for the blessings. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
હરે કૃષ્ણ
All
માતાજી.
I can say. Hare Krishna. What else I can say?
हरे कृष्णा माताजी, कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम. श्रील प्रभुपाद, श्री श्री सिक्स गोस्वामी, श्री श्री आचार्य गण, भक्तिदेवी तुलसी महारानी, श्री श्री यमुना महाराणी ना आशीर्वाद बनी रहे तुम्हारी साथे माताजी. कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम. जय श्री प्रभुपाद.
Yeah. All glories to you, Mataji. Thank you very
श्रीमती
much.
श्री श्री वृंदा देवी, બધા જ પેરોટ, બધા જ પોપટ, બધા જ વૃંદા દેવીના આશીર્વાદ, શ્રી શ્રી ગોવિંદ ઘાટ, શ્રી શ્રી શ્યામ કુંડ, શ્રી શ્રી રાધા કુંડ, ભક્તિદેવ શ્રીમતી શ્રી શ્રી तुलसी महारानी, श्रील
Yeah.
प्रभुपाद, श्रील गुरुदेव, श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर, श्री श्री
Radha Govind.
12 વૃંદાવન ધામ વનના આશીર્વાદ તમારી સાથે રહે માતાજી.
Thank you. I hope I can hold on to all these blessings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji, for your kind association.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, Sukh Sagari Mataji, for the wonderful session. So we will end. All the devotees, thank you so much, Kamadiki Mataji, for coming on video and giving the wonderful association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री चैतन्य भागवतम की जय.
Vrindavan
वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय. हर ग्रेस सुख सागरी माता जी की जय. हर ग्रेस कोमोदक्षी माता जी की जय. थैंक यू माता जी. हरे कृष्णा. Thank you so much, Mataji.
गौरांगा.
Gauranga Nityananda.
गौरांगा.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
See you with another session of Chaitanya Bhagavat, ending the call now. Hari Bol.